Yes, father confirm, it's your boy Foxy P in the building. I like your boy. The chopper of Yam and the fryer of plantain. Yes, 1995, 1999 Gidigbo champion. First Igbo governor of Lagos State. Baba say yes, can I say yes, we fit. Yes, father confirm. Yes, father confirm. It's your top Foxy P in the building. I like your boy, chopper of Yam and the fryer of plantain. Chilling right here on the set of the Africa Today show. Ginger. This looks like a coffee mug, but it's not coffee that's inside. Hot drink. I want to welcome you guys back. Thank you so much for supporting me with the last couple of episodes that we put out. Especially the last episode where we talked about the interracial relationship. I want you guys to tell me, so that's probably going to be the first question or the first thing I need a comment from you. Tell me if you really enjoyed that whole idea of me having extra people in here. Because I do meet a lot of very interesting people that will tell me like, oh, Fox P, I really bang with that Africa Today show. And you know, I've had situations where I could have invited people to come in here to come talk. So you let me know. I don't want a situation where I bring them in and be like, I prefer you by yourself. No, I just wanted to get your own opinion. So that way we know we're going to be bringing more people in here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, God has been blessing us heavy with a lot of people on this show who watch it, who bought tickets to the African Prince of Comedy show in Hollywood. I'm not going to mention names because you guys didn't really give me, didn't give me approval to say, yo, call my name out or anything, but thank you so much. And anybody else that wants to buy a ticket, even if you can't make it out to the show, when I see that name come through, when I see that message, when you send me an email at africancomedians@gmail.com telling me that Foxy P, I'm doing this to support you, it means so much to me. It makes me understand that there are people that really bang with me heavy, that have my back. Always remember, this Africa tradition we're doing is the free service to the people. So when you now do that, when you now buy a ticket to a show that I'm doing all the way in Los Angeles and you're telling me that, yo, go ahead, it means to me that you respect not just my hustle, but the fact that I'm bringing this to you guys. So thank you guys so much. Let's jump into the middle of things because so many things have been happening in Africa. Deadly. I'm going to start from Southern Africa. We're going to Botswana. So we'll get to the news from Botswana that they recently just deported an American pastor. He's an anti-gay pastor who has been preaching that he wants all gay people to be killed. This guy's name is Stephen Anderson, and he has been saying that he wants all gay people to be killed. And I was like, why is Botswana deporting this guy? I mean, Botswana is actually anti-gay. They do have laws on their books that say that gay people cannot, do gay things, which is kind of very difficult. If you've been around gay people, they enjoy doing gay things. So I was like, dang, like, of which levels? But then I'm saying part of the news, you know how the headline will be telling you one thing. I don't know if you noticed this thing. The headline will tell you one thing, but when you now read the whole article, you now be like, dang, this shit is kind of different. Headline said that Botswana deported an anti-gay pastor. This is the same guy who had prayed for the death of Barack Obama in 2009, based on the fact that Barack Obama said, hey, I'm pro-choice. If you want to abort your picking, it's up to you. Which I'm also pro-choice too, having paid for 2 abortions. I don't know if I've said this thing on Africa Today show before. Yeah, I've paid for 2 abortions in my lifetime. None of those pickings were mine. One was just a young baby that's here in Maryland. Basically, she got pregnant. She was like 19. She came here for college. You know, we're an F1 student. Your parents save up money, send you to America. You're not messing with one guy. He's telling you, baby, please, wait, please, let me just put the tip in. That's how the tip entered. The boom, this get carried belly. 19-year-old girl. And the word just reached me that they needed money to, she's trying to look for money to abort the baby. And I was like, how much is she need? They said $350. I was like, all right, cool, here you go, boom. That was the first abortion I paid for. Then the second one was on that girl who, was put in a family way, of which she has the money, she can cover it, but it was something that she had to do like that time. So like, look, I need this money. So it now turned into a situation where not only was I able to give her the money, I even sent her to the family planning place where they went to come on the belly. So personally, I look at, abortion is almost like Plan B. The number of Plan B pill we don't buy for this world. But yeah, I just look at abortion is like kata. Don't get me wrong, partial birth is a completely different thing. When they're picking ass, hand and leg, and the heart is beating. Yo, goddamn murder at that point. Of which I still believe that murder is right during some kind of situations, but it shouldn't be on a level where you're now aborting a child that's like, 6 months in. Like, nah, nigga, like, you a mother now. Take responsibility at that point in time. Should I use condom? All these boys will be like, my pull-out game is strong, my pull-out game is strong. Yeah, pull-out game is strong till they junk correct wetness. I'm like, let me just feel the last second. It's greediness that causes all kinds of, belly that be coming when it's not even due. That's what happens. Niggas know that, yo, you're at that point in time, it's point of no return. Pull out. But no, they want to be greedy. They want to enjoy it for that last microsecond. And that's how they now go, psst, psst. The girls are like, oh, I felt that. You know what, you ladies, you always ask that question. But baby, promise me, I just want to make sure you didn't come inside of me. And guys will be like, me like this, inside you, am I mad? Come on now. I respect your family. I would never do something like that. Whereas the guys already. You should abstain, and if you cannot abstain, use condom. And if you cannot use condom, get ready for child support. So, anyways, Barack Obama is pro-choice, and because Obama supports abortions, this guy hated him and prayed in 2009 for Obama's death. And this guy has just been a thorn in Christianity's side because I'm reading all the things that this guy has done. Even when they had the situation, I don't know whether I just follow this story. Like late last year when they was it late last year, early this year in Orlando when they went to shoot up a club that had a whole bunch of gay guys. He came out and said, "Thank God, that's 50 less, gay people in the world." And I'm like, dang, my nigga, like that's kind of deep. So, anyways, Botswana deported him. And so I was like, why did they deport this guy? Because this is a country where being gay is not legal. In fact, those are two different things. Being gay is not legal is different from being gay is illegal. In Botswana, it is illegal to be gay, to perform gay acts. So I'm hearing that he was actually in a radio station where he criticized drunkenness and alcoholism in Botswana, saying that it's something that he has seen a lot of and it's not good and blah, blah, blah. And then they were like, oh, my guy, your time don't reach. So they deport the guy. On to the next story. I'm following a story that came out of Port Harcourt in Nigeria. This is around where they have the creeks. This is around where they have Niger Delta area where they have all of the oil. I know a lot of non-Nigerians watch this show, so I'm going to try. Whenever I'm talking about Nigeria, I'm not going to just talk about Nigeria like you're all Nigerians. No, I'll give you some kind of color because it's an opportunity for you to learn something about a different nation. So Port Harcourt is in Rivers State, the capital of Rivers State. He has one of the biggest airports in Nigeria, who that airport ain't shit. I've flown into that airport twice. I went there when I buried my uncle in 2013, I believe. And it wasn't shit till now. It still ain't shit. This is an airport that you fly into instead of having a hangar, a place where you can come together as arrival. What they have is canopy. I talked about this several times back then. Port Harcourt is nothing. When you come out of the airport, from Port Harcourt airport to the town itself, it was pure darkness. This is a place where we get 90% of Nigeria's wealth. So looking at it, I'm like, dang, you taught me two things. Number one, if I ever hear anybody from Port Harcourt ever argue with me about Lagos and Port Harcourt, which one is better, I'm going to give you elbow in your throat. The same thing for all you Ibadan people. Don't ever come close to me if you know that when you were young, you people used to travel to Lagos to go and buy container shoe from Bata to be able to wear a nice shoe to go to school. Your parents used to take you to Lagos to go and buy your Christmas gift. Don't talk about your own town. Please don't do that. Call it a town for a reason. It ain't no city, it's a town. So that's one. Number two, I can't really fault Port Harcourt people because why? They've been robbed for so long. That's where Nigeria gets most of its oil, that whole region and everything else. But still, there's no development going on that's on that level that it's supposed to be. Let's keep it real. Port Harcourt should be finer than Abuja if you look at the amount of money. Abuja does not give anything besides the fact that you can just pluck some mango or pawpaw around there. They don't have any natural habitat. There's nothing that they're giving out to the country. So Port Harcourt is where the money comes from. So it should be finer than the capital city. But anyways, let me jump into the story so I won't waste your time no more. I'm getting the news that this guy, Andrew Oga and two of his people, a guy and a girl, decided that they were going to be sharp people. What did they do? They decided to take money and go to a bank. There's nothing wrong with that. You should be able to take money and go to the bank. That's what the bank is for. To cash deposits and take it in and then count it and put it inside your bank account. But what they tried to deposit was not just regular money. They took half money and the rest they went to get photocopy. I tell people all the time, man, if you want to be smoking Indian hemp, look well to find out where you're buying that weed from. If that person is not your family member, question them. If that person is not someone that you grew up with, that you've seen them for a while, if you've not been there where the person has sold weed to other people and didn't go mental, then it's possible that you can actually go close to them and buy that igbo. Because the fact that is this, I don't believe that any human being that was born in a woman of which they did naming ceremony when they gave birth to you will use open eye and then photocopy money. Nigerian money has color. Photocopied it in black and white paper and mixed it inside thinking that that's going to go to bank and deposit that thing. My nigga, the kind of weed that you're smoking is not even invented in this world. You're probably smoking the weed that they brought from Mars. They mix some Mars rocks in there. Maybe they even put some Alamo bitter. Who knows? Maybe they just sprinkle some oregano. Something else is inside of that weed that you're smoking because it's not real. It reminds me of all those children. I don't know when I remember when you were young. When you go to all those parties, all those anti-gimmick parties, when somebody is celebrating their 5th birthday, they're doing dancing competition. And then when they're doing dance competition, they now select the people that are going to go into the next round. How do they select them? They give them like, maybe like a piece of paper or something else. And then you now have some of your boys that will now go and cut paper from outside. They were not selected though, but they'll go and cut the paper and come back. When that's okay, all the people that have paper in their hand, come for round 2. They will now show up. And I'll be looking at them. Remember one of my boys, Bobby? We did a competition like that. The guy came with his own yellow paper that he tore into small pieces, square piece, and gave it to us. Bobby, look. They didn't select it. Went to go and tear newspaper. They said, everybody that collected paper, come. So we came with our own official paper. He came with his own newspaper. They said, what are you doing? He said, paper is paper. I looked at him, I said, damn. After in the future, now people will be complaining, why didn't we pass JAMB? Common sense is not common. So I'm looking at these boys and I'm wondering to myself, how can you have photocopy money? Not that you went to go and use it and buy corn. Not that you went to go and buy suya in the middle of the night, of which those suya men don't have complete light to be seen and everything. You went to the bank. People that are trained, how even if they don't look at the money, they can feel the difference in the money. People that are trained to look out for counterfeit. And this one is not even counterfeit, it's counterfeit that came from a Xerox machine. How about now? Come on now. That's the kind of thing that they arrest you. Your mom say will even come to that position and flog you slap first. And say, officer, please put him back inside there for 2 more weeks. What nonsense. Leaving all the nonsense that's happening in Nigeria to go to another nonsense. We're getting the news from Ghana that they're getting ready for their election. The election, they're going to choose the president, they're going to choose their parliament. And right now, Ghana politicians are going crazy. See, before I thought all you had to do was to show that you're a man of the people. You come out, you kiss a couple of babies, you say something that people like to hear. From now on, everybody will have good road. Hey! From now on, everybody have free education. Hey! But Ghana politicians are not stopping at that. What are they doing? They're doing all kinds of crazy things. I'm looking at the picture from Linda AKG website. I'm seeing pictures of Ghana politicians. Some of them are turning fufu. Some of them are doing women hair. One politician decided to double down. He's turning fufu, doing women hair, and frying stew at the same time. Like, my nigga, I have never seen in the qualification that they need for a good leader to involve you being able to braid any woman's hair. I don't care what kind of skills you have. One of my boys, Chidoke, my cousin and we grew up together, he can play shuku, he can play patewo, he can play some to the front and all back, he can play concord. That don't mean that motherfucker is good enough to be my governor. So what exactly is the reason? It's because of social media. They can take their picture and they're like, this guy's a man of the people. That tells you that our politicians are looking down on us. They're looking at us like we don't have any brain, we don't have any sense. Our IQs are not kicking into that next level. Of which then that tells you that, my nigga, if you are my governor, if you are my prime minister, if you are my president, if you are my senator, and you're sending me to this school, but at the end of the day, you don't understand or you don't respect my level of education, you don't understand my mentality, you don't understand how smart I am, that tells me that you're not sending me to the right school. You're not even equipping me in the right ways. That tells me that you're not looking to me to be smart. You're not looking at me to be intelligent. You don't trust the ability that I can get from that school to be able to prepare me to be able to see the difference in your stupidity that you're throwing at me. So how can I trust you to lead me when you've already shown me as part of your political brouhaha that you just want to do nonsense? Plaiting hair, frying stew. I'm surprised they're not on the main road dancing as Zonto. I'm sure it's happening somewhere. If anybody see any video of any Ghanaian politician dancing as Zonto, please send it to me confirm. Talking about politicians are doing stupid things, let's take it back home. I don't know if you are following this story, but apparently the Nigerian president, General Muhammadu Buhari, the stakeholder and the headman in charge of the APC camp, came out this week, and it was a big thing that came out. Basically, the backstory is this: his wife, Aisha Buhari, had gone and done an interview on BBC. And during her interview, what did she say? She was like, yo, the way the country is going right now, a lot of the politicians are not really supporting my husband. They're not really doing the things they're supposed to be doing. A lot of the guys that he put in office are not really doing what they're supposed to be doing. Boom, 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 bam, boom. She's pretty much raising dust, pretty much calling out a couple of people that they helped out by putting them in positions of power and saying they're not really supporting him the way they're supposed to. That's why the country is not moving at the pace it's supposed to be moving. That's a good opinion. That's what she said. Would you imagine that Buhari was in a news conference and they asked him, yo, what do you think about what your wife said? And you know what this guy said in return? I don't know if I should say it. Let me let him say it by himself.
I don't know which party my wife belongs to, but she belongs to my kitchen and my living room and the other room.
This is a woman that you marry, the mother of your pikins. This is a woman that you've been saying, oh, I'm so proud of her, I'm so excited to have someone that's so learned as my wife. The woman came out and said this, and you use the same mouth that you're using to be eating corn and drinking milk straight from your cows that you have in Daura, Katsina, to come out and say that this woman, you don't know which political party she belongs to. What you know is that she belongs in the kitchen, in the parlor, or in the other room. Damn, my neck. What pained me is not the fact that that guy said what he said, because I understood where he's coming from. That's what happens when you elect people that are out of touch. When you elect people that are old, that are ancient, that really, all they should be doing right now, he should be the head of all Nigerian retirement home for all civil servants. He should be the head of the retirement policy. All those people that be giving out, you know, when you have a civil servant that has been working for a long time, the head of our pension scheme. That's what he should be doing. He should be an elder statesman that's going to be chilling in the cut. Whenever things are going too crazy, you can go to him for advice. I'm like, Baba, what do you think about what we should do? There's no reason why we should have a 70-something-year-old man leading the country. Because why? By being 70-something-year-old, he's going to come at you with old school mentality. Yeah. Think it now. When was the last time you heard about any first lady from Africa that was learned, that was smart, that was educated? There's no way we're going to get that. Why would we get that when all the people that are ruling us are old men? You're never going to see a Michelle Obama come out of Africa. When all the presidents are in their 70s, are in their 80s, are in their 90s. How would you see any young baby that's going to be out there doing things the way they're supposed to be doing, speaking intelligently? When would the office of the first lady transform from just being a place where people can just chop money and she's the one in charge of all the home motherless babies fund? When are you going to see a first lady that's going to step up and represent what our young women should aspire to be? A professional, well-spoken, well-educated, able to carry herself with dignity. A Michelle Obama. When are you going to see that? You're not going to see it because we're electing these old cargoes, these old men. So Buhari is speaking from his own experience, being a 70-something-year-old man. He does not believe that his wife should be speaking out of turn. What they would tell you, in the realest sense of it, these days, women are equal to men. A woman can never speak out of turn because she is your partner. She is your supporter. She is right there with you, neck to neck, shoulder to shoulder. You guys are facing everything you're supposed to be facing together. When you misstep, she's the one that's going to correct you and be like, baby, that's not what you're supposed to do. But instead, you want a woman that's going to be in your parlor, that's going to be in your kitchen, that's going to be in your other room. What is the other room? That's the bedroom. So you say she's only good for sex. She's only good as a personal companion in the middle of the night when you want to satiate yourself. She's only good for the time when you need to empty your blockers. That's the woman that you married. Can you imagine that? But I wasn't so upset about that. I was not, really. It didn't really bother me as much. It didn't really touch me as much. What really pained me was the fact that this man was standing beside one of the most powerful women in the world. This is a woman who is the head of the most powerful country in the EU. When I say one of the most powerful women in the world, I'm talking about Angela Merkel. Yeah! He was standing beside the head, the president, the prime minister, the Oga Patapata in charge of Germany. Germany is the one that's running the EU right now. It's the most powerful country in the European Union. Anytime US want to do anything, they always ask Germany, what do you think? When British was trying to leave EU, they ask Germany, what do you think? They're the one that's holding up all of the countries in the EU right now. When Greece was going through that problem, when their economy was falling, who were they asking for a bailout? It was Germany directly. So it touched me so deeply that you are standing beside the most powerful woman in the world. At the same time, you're demeaning your wife. And not only demeaning your wife, you're demeaning the mother of your children. And not only that, you're demeaning one of the first women that people look at when they think about Nigerian women. Come on now. That's terrible. You are disrespecting all Nigerian women in one fell swoop. Chimamanda can go out there and write all kinds of amazing books, be on every single Beyonce album, be on New York Times, writing amazing things about all kinds of beautiful people, but you're demeaning her. We can talk about all the great women and all the things that they have done. Queen Amina of Kano. We can come out and say all the great things that women have accomplished in life as Nigerian women. But you yourself, in just 1, 2, 3 seconds, just open that your mouth. I used to chopping cola nut and disrespect all our women. Come on now. You disrespected my mother. You disrespected my mother, disrespected my cousins, my aunties, all the great women that I know that watch Africa Today show. You disrespected them in 1 second, my name. But you're a leader. And as just like the whole insult was not enough, I'm getting news that Aisha Buhari carrying her shoulder high, saying, you know what, I will not let my husband put me down like this. She went out to Belgium. They did like an African women conference or something like that. Went out there. And this woman was there in the meeting representing Nigeria one more time. And what happened? She shook the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister of Belgium, shake the man's hand. And all of a sudden, what happened? All the Hausa people, all the Muslims, all the crazy backward ass, motherfucking ass Negroes were out there on social media shouting at her. I'm not saying that all Muslims said this. I'm not saying all Hausa people said it. But most of the people I saw commenting were Hausa and they were Muslim. And how do I know they were Muslim? They're coming up for that Muslim thing. Like, how can you, as a Muslim wife, shake another man's hand? You're a prostitute. You are nonsense. They should throw you out. Your husband should divorce you right now for shaking another man's hand. Can you imagine how you put sound? Is she in a hijab? Is she covering her whole face in a burqa? Is she under a restraint saying that she cannot touch any other man? She can't have a handshake? Come on now, that don't make no sense. That thing pissed me off so much deep inside of my soul. It now made me start to wonder, how can we move forward as a country when in fact people are not even able to respect our own first lady? Come on now. How can you tell me that they're going to respect you, the young ladies that are watching this thing today right now? When you go back to Nigeria and say you want to start a non-profit organization where you want to help children, how can they respect you when the first lady who's working with Mopo, working with SSS, who's living in Aso Rock, she's not even being respected by the people in that country? Come on, that don't make no sense. So when I tell you that one of the most endangered species in Nigeria is not our oil, is not all the kind of wild animal inside the bush, but it's the girl child. I want you to understand where I'm coming from. Because the people in that country don't even respect the women that come from that country. So if you cannot respect the woman that comes from that country, if you cannot respect the first lady, how the hell are you going to respect your own daughter? That's why you be seeing situations now where these girls are doing akuna, being a show, being prostitutes out there in the street. Why? Because their education was stopped before they even finish JSS3. And it pissed me off so much because you still have people till today who will tell you that, look, I will send my son all the way up to master's PhD, but my daughter has to stop in SS3 because she's going to marry a man and she's going to become his property, and why would I even try to support her after that when I know she's never going to help my lineage? Come on now. It's that kind of backwards thinking that kills us, because one thing that all the developed countries know is the fact that biologically you always have more women than men. Unless you have what you have in China right now, where they have the one-child policy, or who they just cancelled it recently. They had a one-child policy. So what you saw was a situation where a lot of the parents, knowing fully well they can only have one child, would now go and scan the baby inside the belly. Once they determined the sex, they were doing abortions. They were killing those children to make sure that they don't give birth to a daughter. So that's why it's skewed. But naturally, if you think about it, statistically, there's always more women than men. Always, always, always. Across the board. So if you think about that, you have more women than men. You now think about how many women you have in your country. You now think about what would happen if we empower these women. One of the greatest creatures, one of the greatest human beings I've seen in this world are women. There was a time when I was working for KPMG, the public accounting company, where my boss, my boss's boss, my boss's boss's boss, all the way up to partner were all women. And the way our department was just cruising, I was like, dang, I like this. There's a reason why in my business I always try as much as possible. Yes, I'm doing African Prince of Comedy show with princes. Those are guys because I signed a whole bunch of guys as my comedians. But if you look at my underlying infrastructure across the board, in terms of my planners, in terms of my coordinators, in terms of the people that I go to, my junior self, I go to ask for ideas and advice. I go to women. Women make the world go around. That's the reason why rap stars, they've been doing their rap for years upon years. They don't sell as much as an R&B singer. Check anywhere in the world, you can never compare. That's why you can never compare a Wizkid to an MI. I love those two niggas to death, but you can never compare them. You can never compare Chris Brown, the kind of money that Chris Brown is killing on that whole tip. If you can never compare him with a straight up rapper. All these conscious rappers have been doing their thing since day one. Nobody cares. That's men. Men, okay, yeah, you're having a show. That's cool. I like your album. That's good enough. But when you have singers, all these Trey songs, Trigger, that don't be commoting shit, like these people just be losing their minds. I sat down with Bracket this past weekend. I was in LA chilling with them, and I was like, yo, why is it that there's always a difference between rap and R&B in the support? They said it's women. This comedy that we do, let me tell you a secret. The reason why we're able to wear makeup and wear lipstick and be on stage and be doing all these things and people are supporting us and people are buying our tickets, it's not because of the guys, because all the guys are gonna do like, oh, that nigga probably gay. I don't fuck that gay shit. I hate Philo. My nigga, you can hate Philo, but let me tell you something. Your girlfriend love Philo, your auntie love Philo, your mother love Philo. That girl in your church that you've been trying to toast for 15 years now love Philo. So guess what? Once she tell you you're coming for the show, you're gonna come for the show too. Women make the world go round. Every single thing in this world that's successful is because of women. Men will be living in cardboard boxes if it wasn't for women. The only reason why we buy nice house and be driving nice cars because we're trying to attract women. If you go all the way back to prehistoric times, you will see for a fact everything that we've done. Even the cloth that we're wearing. Who said we should wear clothes? Who said we should cover our nakedness? It was women. Adam and Eve. Go and check it in your Bible. Confirm. So when you have a man that's disrespecting the woman that's supposed to be the number one woman in our country, I tell you that's Buhari, you've done everything. This is the one that you've done that's the worst. And that's what I'm telling you, he's going to have only one term. Only one term is going to rule that country. Because guess what? The women are going to rise up. And they know for a fact, this is not somebody who's in there, who's supporting us. I appreciate that every time we do this show. Anything when you die in a vote, when in doubt, STB.